Hey everybody, so today we're just going to go through some of the work I did last week, and we'll talk a little bit about the design and the spaceship. So you can see we've got our spaceship. It was inspired by a floating eyeball in space, and the name of the spaceship is called the Observer. Uh, I mean, like the whole theme of this kind of horror is sort of existential, so I just wanted to play around that and this, like the senses and stuff. So this area in particular is, the blockout that you can see here is one of the starting areas, and it's located at the very back of the ship, like where you'd normally find the nerves of an eyeball, and that kind of symbolizes the communication aspect. So these giant machines that you got here, they don't have any explicit function, but they suggest that kind of stuff. And I was really inspired by the old school retro aesthetic, the 70s, 80s futurism, and that was the idea here. Here's a base material in Unreal Engine, so it's it gives a cool effect when you put in all the reflections and the lighting. Um, so this place is quite congested, but that's the sort of idea I wanted to give anyway. And yeah, now the modeling part is done. I did it. It took a whole week to kind of get this done. Um, Still a little bit of details left, but I think a lot of the trim sheets and texturing will take care of that. Overall, I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and when you play it in the level, it feels kind of similar to it feels close to what I wanted. One of the hardest parts of doing this level was the pipes that you see here. Um, Modeling pipes by hand, it can just be a real time-consuming process. If anyone recommends any good packages and marketplace for that, I'd be happy to hear you out. Maybe for a future project I'll look into that. But yeah, that's the model done, and you can see when I bring it into Unreal, this time with the space skybox, it's pretty effective. Uh, I like the idea of having a half exposed area of the game where it's like half of it is in space and then half of it is in the spaceship. I just think it looks a little bit dynamic, and this level does serve that purpose in the first place. Um, yeah, now I'm playing it. Um, it's very handy, like when you can use some of the export functions to just bring the whole scene in and be able to walk around in real time. That saved me a lot of hours and a lot of headache. Um, yeah, like so this is pretty much the final modeling done after about a week's work, and the next part of this the next step is the next level. Um, and just for like a little bonus here, I've got this the concept of the character. He's also inspired by the old school spacesuits that you'd see in the 60s and 70s. Like the kind of ribbed limbs, and I just wanted to. I was inspired by the camera lens too for the helmet. So somebody said it looked like a nut. So he's like a nut boy. He's definitely got a few places on his body that he can fix things. So it's a cool interpretation. I guess you could interpret it whatever way you want. But really happy with how the artist managed to model this one. So yeah, hopefully I can upload more videos soon, and subscribe and follow for more content. Thanks.